Welcome to the third chapter of Legal Insights, where we bring you to the stories of legal luminaries who have carved a niche in their profession. In our last episode, we had the privilege of hosting K.C. Mittal sir, and today we have with us Advocate Ragini Sachdeva ma'am, co-founder and managing partner at Sachdeva and Sachdeva Advocates, Supreme Court advocate, and an inspiration to many of us in our legal fields. What makes this episode even more special and interesting to us is that ma'am is one of our very own, an alumnus of MERI-PLI LLB batch 2024. From being a student walking these very hallways to establishing a career in the legal field, she has a journey of resilience, excellence and determination. Ma'am, let's start from the very beginning. Most of the law students follow a very structured path, like first they go to the school, then they give the law entrance exam, that is CLAT, and then they get admission to their law schools. But you took a quite different route. What was your academic background before law, and what led you to take up LLB after?
Hi Janya, how are you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
Great. Actually, I never planned to be an advocate or a lawyer. I was a teacher before becoming an advocate, and teaching was my passion, so I never thought of becoming a lawyer. But as time passed, I understood the need of understanding law of your own country. And moreover, I was a political science teacher. So I thought that law would be beneficial for me as well as for my students, because constitution is a subject in law as well as political science both. So I got into law or learning of law just for academic purpose. But you can say that MERI Professional Law Institute changed my mind. My teachers changed my mind, and law drew me towards itself. So yes, that was a life-changing moment for me.
So basically returning to academics after a huge gap actually can be really very daunting. And so I just want to ask, how did you prepare yourself mentally and academically for choosing LLB?
So Janya, actually I did not have a very long gap, I'll say, because I did my master's and then I did my B.Ed in 2018 and I joined the law school in 2021. So I was a teacher for 3 years before that, and since you know that every teacher is a student itself, so I was a student throughout, going to school every day. So there was no much gap, I'll say, in my academic life. So I never felt that there was a gap.
Okay. So like, since you have already spent a lot of time in some other profession, in some another field before joining to law school, do you think that prior experience have, given you some sort of advantage? And if it did, how did it shape your approach to studying law?
Okay. Yes, obviously experiences are what a man or a person is. So I'll say that teaching gave me not only a background towards law, as I told you my subject was political science. So, and moreover, I was a topper throughout my academics in my school days, during my graduation, post-graduation, B.Ed, then I was a topper in LLB also. So everything was, I think, destined, and nothing, I'll say, was short of an experience. So yes, everything clubbed up together made me what I am today.
Win-win situation.
Yes.
In nowadays, many students basically struggle to balance theory with their practical exposure. But you not only excelled academically, but also, took on leadership roles. So what was your strategy for managing and handling it all?
See, for every law student, I'll just suggest one thing, that theory is not where you will be putting up after 3 years or 5 years of law. It is the practical arena which is going to take up. So practice is very, very important. Moreover, strategy, I'll say discipline, hard work, perseverance, these words are a key to success for every person, not only in the field of law, but I think everywhere. If you want to excel, discipline is must, and that you should follow.
This makes me remind of the fact that law schools are actually really very competitive, and there are quite challenges that a student face. So what were some of the biggest challenges while you were pursuing LLB, and how did what measures did you took to overcome them?
See, obviously, once you become a topper, you become favorite of your teachers and auntie of your classmates. So this is something which I experienced in law school as well. I'll not say that competition did not hit me. It hit me mentally as well. But understanding your background, your positives will help you a lot in dealing with these kind of challenges, because you cannot change how others perceive you, but you can change yourself. You can always look at the positive side of what you are getting from each quarter of life. So that is what I also opted for.
Totally agreed, ma'am. Not everyone basically who enters to law school actively participates or actively practices at courts, but did you always wanted to practice law, or was there a moment of realization?
See, as I told you, I was so passionate to become a teacher since my childhood. So I never dreamt of becoming an advocate. I entered MERI Professional Law Institute only and only because I wanted to know about law. But things changed in my second year of LLB, and I decided that I'll take up practice, and that is when I focused myself towards this. So yeah, I'm an accidental lawyer, you can say.
Okay, ma'am, since you are the alumnus of our college, what are some of the fondest memories from your time over here? And how did MERI Professional Law Institute and your professors contributed to shaping your legal journey?
I have so many memories. I cannot just sum them up because I was there organizing each and every event. I was there attending every class. I had my own kind of relationship with my teachers. They were all very, very caring, and they helped me come out as I am today. So yeah, memories I cannot put up into words, but yes, those lunch breaks, those practice sessions, those moot court practices, I'll say everything. I cannot forget each and every moment which I spent in this, organization.
So it cannot be summed up.
Yes. Every day was a new experience and a new learning and a fondest memory.
Okay. So, ma'am, as legal practice is known for its long gestation period, we know it takes a lot of time to, flourish in the legal world. It takes years to establish a name, especially when competing with, legacy law firms. And yet, Sachdeva and Sachdeva Advocates is already making its mark in the market. How do you navigate this?
See, first of all, I'll thank my father for this because I am a second generation advocate. My father is a mediator as well, so he's not practicing as such. So I have taken the legacy from him. But yes, again, I'll say hard work is much important because we cannot advertise what we do in India. So it is very, very important to keep up with the everyday events which are happening, the updations in law. And it is also very, very important to visit courtrooms because I think when we talk about LLB, one day out of the week should be fixed for courtroom visits because you have to go there every day. So that should become a habit. So yes, these all things will help you flourish, and it takes its own time. I'll not say that I have become the most successful or I will become the more successful in coming years. It will take its own time. And one should be calm, patient in this profession. That is must.
Agreed, ma'am. So next question that I would like to ask is that the name Sachdeva and Sachdeva Advocates is a strong brand today, but currently legal names often take time to gain recognition. But how did you work towards building credibility early in your career?
Actually, I had very good mentors. to be very frank. I had very good teachers. I did internship under very good advocates. So I was lucky enough, and my father's blessings and guidance is there with me. So that is also a plus point, I'll say, which has helped me to grow. And of course, networking is important in our profession. So you must not miss a chance to get through it.
You need a circle where you
Yes,
can
definitely.
rotate
Social
yourself.
circle is must.
Must, right. Similarly, ma'am, many young lawyers face the challenge, like the challenge of finding the right mentor. As you said, you got the best mentors, but many of the people quite face these types of challenges. Who were your guiding forces in your journey, and how important is mentorship in the career of law?
Okay, then I'll start naming them. I'll first start with Preet sir, our principal, then Amit sir, Kapil sir, Akhil sir, Dhruv sir, Stuti ma'am, and Mohit sir, Nisha ma'am. Then we had Ritika ma'am who left us, and Jay sir. Then so many other people. I told you I had the experience of getting interned under various advocates. To name a few, Akash Mehta sir. So all this helped me, to get an experience of how you should work. Theory and practical, both. They were bridged because of these mentors which I had. So yeah, mentorship is very, very important because a confident, a patient mentor can help you shape yourself into somebody you look upon your mentor, right? So जैसा आपका mentor होगा आप वैसे ही होंगे. So that is the thing. So you must choose your mentor wisely, and I think mentors must also choose interns wisely.
True. So, what are some misconceptions that law students have about the profession, which they only realize after entering into the practice? Like they are, somewhere into the dark corner or the blind spot that they do not realize earlier. But after they enter into the practice, they have this realization.
See, actually, there are many, but I'll address two. First of all, they say there is no money in this profession, but it's not that. If you work hard, if you are dedicated to the profession, see, if you're doing 5 things together, then it is like beating around the bush. You will not get one streamlined, right? So you must put your hard work into one thing, that is law, if you have committed to this profession. Second thing is, often we take this profession for granted. Like you see that people become advocates in their first semester only. The attitude changes, the behavior changes, but we fail to recognize that we have the responsibility also. We are the officers of court. So this heavy words which we carry with us, they are not only something which is for personal gain, I'll say, but we are working for the society. We are practitioners. We always remain practitioners. We are not experts. So we must remember this, I think.
Exactly. Ma'am, you have worked on several significant cases. Is there any one particular case that is, that has deeply impacted your perspective on law and justice?
See, every case is different. Even if you do 2 divorce cases, both are very different. So I cannot name one case which has left a profound impact on me. Every case touches you in one or the other way. And as a fresh advocate, I think this also becomes a challenge, that how you emotionally segregate yourself from your clients, because often you get carried away with the emotional baggage that they are carrying with them. So that is also a challenge which we face in our profession. So yes, every matter is different, I'll say, and every matter leaves an imprint on you. So
it does leave an long lasting impact.
Yes, definitely.
Now I would like to ask that for students who are either considering law after a gap or feel unsure about their unconventional journey, what would be your advice towards those category of students?
See, first of all, this gap is only mental, I'll say. Once you take the first step, it is no longer a gap. I'll give you an example of a classmate. We had many classmates who were retired from their government jobs. So you can imagine their age. They were in late 60s. but we never felt that they were in late 60s. We found them more young mentally and physically, I'll say, to us. So definitely I'll say that it is a mental barrier which we put to ourselves. So take one step every day and take every day as it comes. So this is what will be my
Also,
suggestion.
law is a profession, which can be practiced at any age group. There is no legal foundation. There is no, rightly said that yes, it is indeed a personal barrier, mental barrier. Many young lawyers struggle with the, courtroom confidence. They do not gain the right confidence to address the lordships. And so what helped you to develop that the presence and assertiveness in court?
See, actually, I'll thank my genes for this. So, confidence was present in me since the very childhood because I participated at various events. Since childhood only, I was a good debater. So, that helped me. So, I'll tell you one incident during my internship only. I was the only person who was very confident to enter the court premises with confidence. So I was given the duty of getting the clients from outside to inside because I was the one who could enter the premises with confidence. So it gives you a plus also and a negative also sometimes. But confidence can be developed every day. There are techniques for it. Like, for example, we speak in front of the mirror. Many techniques can be followed for that. But confidence is a must thing, I'll say, if you want to, pursue this profession.
The right part of confidence.
Yes, definitely. The positive. Definitely.
Like there's an often, a gap, what is taught in law school and what is needed in practice. Like we say the theoretical and the practical imposure. So how can the students, bridge the gap while they are still in the college?
Like we were talking, so first year only internship should begin. This is what I feel because I was very late to understand the importance of internship, and that is what I feel is lacking within me even today. If I would have gone for an internship in my first year, I would have been much more groomed. This is what I feel. Second thing is, you should understand that this theory part is important, but practical is what you will survive into. So for law schools also, I will suggest that one day in a week, as I was talking about, should be left reserved for courtroom visits. That is very, very important. And that will also help you bridge the mental gap, which you feel once you enter first time into the courtroom. Like it is very difficult to address the lordship or the ladyship once you enter first time into the court. You don't know how you will address, how you will, do the arguments. But if all this is taught within the law school, it becomes very, very easy. So I think this should be one thing which should be incorporated into the syllabi.
Right, ma'am. As we know that you work extensively in litigation. So do you think this legal profession is evolving with technology, like it's really dynamic? And should law students start preparing for a more tech-driven legal world?
Yes, definitely. We have AI with us today and we cannot ignore it. Although AI also cannot ignore humans, that part also I'll address. There needs to be a balance between AI and human beings altogether. So yes, it is very, very important that each and every law student becomes acquainted with the technology because every day you have to work with it. Few years back, we used to see people carrying files to the courtroom. Now we see laptops, tabs. No longer anybody carries files, right? So things are evolving and this chat GPT has made it worse, I'll say. So yeah, don't use that for making your petitions, but yeah, use it for good purposes. You can learn things.
Because ChatGPT addresses some other cases and they have some different statements.
You can obviously use it for enhancing your knowledge, but not copy-pasting.
So, if you could go back in time to your first year of law school, what is one thing you would like do definitely?
Okay, so I have lived my journey in MERI Professional Law Institute throughout. So not one day can I remember, but yes, my first year was very daunting because I entered when COVID was there. So for the first semester we had online classes, but luckily or unluckily we had offline exams. So things changed as exams approached. So yeah, first semester went like that, but second semester was enjoyable. We enjoyed every day in the class and studied also. So it was a balance of both. So yeah, I miss my college days.
Ma'am, shall we start with the rapid fire round?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
We'll be, you can answer with like very short and crisp answers. So are we ready?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead.
One law book that every student should read.
Okay. There are many, not only law books, but Tomorrow's Lawyer. This is what I'll suggest because it talks about the technological driving changes which are happening, what lawyers should expect in the coming times. So this is what this book addresses. But yes, there are other books also which gives you various life lessons like Atomic Habits. So law is not only law, it involves business within it as well, right? So you have to manage it. You are an entrepreneur altogether. So that should also become a balancing factor when you talk about it. I have spoken much in rapid fire.
Next question, like mood courts or internship?
Both.
Both.
They cannot be, chosen. Both have their own significance.
A mix of both.
Yes, a mix of both.
One myth about being a lawyer.
I told you to. See, you can, again, you cannot be a poor lawyer. It takes time. And secondly, you are the officer of court. So you have the responsibility and you have to uphold it.
A case that inspired you.
Many, I told you there are many. So I'll not name any one.
Like a landmark case or the judgment.
Okay. Then I'll say it's a Shah Bano case. Okay. Why? Because it not only addressed maintenance issue, but it has also become a focal point today when we are talking about men rights, right? So after so many years also, this case is leaving an impact. So I'll say yes, this was a landmark case which we had.
If not law, then what?
Teaching.
Okay. One piece of advice for students choosing law, after a gap.
Just go ahead. Don't put mental barrier.
Best way to make a strong argument in court.
Learn, practice, and just know the facts of the matter. You often see lawyers coming up in the courtroom with their files, not knowing the facts of the case. So that is sad because, see, looking from the point of advocate, it might mean just a date. But for your client, it is their life. Every day before few days before your date, the client becomes nervous, has mental pressure, so and hopes that something positive will turn out at this date. And if you're going unprepared, you are, cheating your own client and yourself. That should not happen.
Most underrated skill for a law student?
Not being able to listen actively. Yes, that is because we speak too much.
We, put stress over speaking a lot.
We forget that we have to actively listen as well.
One thing that law schools should teach but don't.
Yeah, visiting courtrooms and etiquettes, courtroom etiquettes are very, very important.
Your mantra for success in the legal profession?
Work hard.
Hard work.
There is no shortcut in any profession, I'll say. Not only law, but law, law should be for somebody who has a passion for law. Don't do law if you don't have a passion for it. And if you have a passion, you can wait till years for your passion to get fulfilled. You will enjoy each day.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the rapid fire round. We sum up our questions with the ending the rapid fire round, and your journey has been a true testament to the fact that there is no single right path for choosing the legal profession, but passion, discipline, and perseverance can make all the difference. Thank you for sharing your invaluable insights with us, ma'am.
Thank you so much for calling me again to my college, and I'm very, very happy to be here and will be excited to come again. Thank you.
And with that, we wrap our third chapter of Legal Insights. Stay tuned for the fourth chapter. Until then, which will be released next month. Until then, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.